What's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over my results day trading penny stocks with $1,500 for 1 week. So real quick before we get into the video, I want to kind of go over my experience trading penny stocks. I have videos on my channel talking about penny stocks. I make those videos every single Saturday going over my trades for the past week. So I do that in my Webull account. This is going to be on my TD Ameritrade cash account. $1,500, a cash account allows me to make day trades unlimited as long as I have cash in the account. That cash, when I make a trade, takes time to settle. So that's how I'm going to be able to do this. It's not a margin account. That's why I can bypass the PDT rule in a sense and make day trades as many as I want. I am not limited by that, but what I am limited by is that I can't go in too big, because if I make a trade for $500, that $500 is going to take some time to settle, so I can't do that. So I want to be making trades in this account on the order of $30 to about $100 max. This will allow me to make a few day trades per day, and what I'm going to do is document those trades in this video and see how much money I can make or I can lose with a $1,500 account day trading penny stocks in this TD Ameritrade cash account. So real quick, what I'm going to be doing is every single day I'm going to be waking up at 6:30 and starting my trading by 7 a.m. Now that trading may go until about 12 p.m. That may even go till 4 p.m. Depends upon what I am doing that day, how much money I make, and what's going on in the markets. If things are crazy, if things aren't crazy, I'll make more trades. If things are really, really low volume, I'm probably not going to make too many trades and not try to over trade and get myself caught up in things I don't want to do. But again, I do have experience with penny stocks, more of a swing trade basis, and I have been dabbling into day trading as of late. But this is going to kind of test my skills and kind of show at least what I've been learning over the past 2 or 3 weeks that I've been doing this on a consistent basis. A couple other side notes really quick here. I am part of a trading group. That's going to be linked down below in the description of this video. If you guys want to check it out, you can. There are some daily alerts. There are some suggestions. There's a lot of awesome stuff there. So through that's going to help guide me along on a lot of my trades, as well as kind of things that I've learned over the past few weeks doing this. And that should pretty much give you guys a good idea as to what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully, we can get some live trading, get some recaps of these trades so you can see the mistakes that I made, why it was a winner, why it was a loser. But right now, we're going to be going Monday through Friday, trading every single day. And I'm going to recap and explain every trade that I make on this video. Last but not least, 6:30 wake up, kind of set up my account, set everything up, get my top runners for the day going, make sure I have things under control, and situate myself for the day, because 7 a.m. many companies like to announce news, and so that's when things kind of start spiking up. And so that's why these penny stocks tend to run from like 7 a.m. through the rest of the day, generally in that morning time frame when there's a lot of news and a lot of traders flooding into these stocks. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. All right, so just like that, we are done for at least the morning hours of trading. It is currently 12:53. We are inside the background here of my TD Ameritrade account. What we can see right off the top, we can see the net liquidity of the account, $14.9832. So what is that? It's actually a loss of $1.57. Why is that a loss? Well, here we have the parentheses, which indicates a loss. We can see the account overall in the year to date. I've been messing around in here, $29 in the negative for the year on this account. But again, this is my day trade account. We're going to be seeing how things go. And so here are the stocks that I traded. What we can see here is we can see the profit and loss for the day. So these are kind of the keys we want to talk about here. We got a 220, we got a 245, a 27, 838, a 1, and then we have a $16 loss. One loss on the day, one actual loss that we took in terms of like an overall stock trade here, and that really weighed me down. So what I want to do is actually go back through some of these trades, why they were good, why they were bad, and what the problem was. So AVCO is what we're going to actually look at first. So what I'm going to do here is go to the chart section, and then I'm going to go to AVCO, and we're going to check out what I did wrong, and why that was the biggest loss, because that was the problem. And then we'll go back through some other trades, and we'll talk about those things right there. So here we are inside of TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. So what I have here is active trader. This is what I use primarily when I am trading. I'm gonna get rid of that because we don't need to see that guy right now. Sold. So we can go back here, we can see I had an order of 30 shares go through at $2.50 and then 10 more shares at $2.36, selling all 40 shares at $2.05. So we can really see what was going on right now, and what the problem I had was because $2.50 was a previous resistance for this stock. With the news that we had this morning, I thought, okay, this could break $2.50. Once it breaks $2.50, this could be off to the races, potentially pushing $2.75 and $3. So I would look to have my sell orders at $2.74 and like $2.99, around those numbers. Really quick, why I would go into those numbers is because I don't like whole numbers. Those tend to be areas of resistance, those psychological levels, the $2, those whole numbers, those rounder numbers, like the 25, every 25-cent chunk, every 15, 10-cent chunk, something like that. That's what I kind of see as like resistance and support areas. And so that's what I saw. The problem was we got to this point, I saw a 254 on the ask, and I usually what happens is that's a sign this is going to rip right through 250 and go. It didn't, and I got in at 250, and it came right back down. And so that's my mistake right there. Had a chance to get out at 245 or 249. I think it got back up to 248. Didn't actually do so, and got back in here, and we fell through, and then that was that. So what I have here, guys, are the EMAs, and this white line is the actual VWAP. So 200 EMA, 50 EMA, blue is 25, and the light blue is the 10 EMA. So I basically go off of those when I am generally trading through the day. I'm gonna move myself to that side so we can use this little magnifying glass, zoom in, zoom out, cover up the news. News isn't a huge deal, although a lot of these plays were news plays. And so where was the next big play? It was CYCC, okay? This play, we had some news, we had a significant move to the upside. And take a look at CYCC. Where did I get in? Well, I got in at the break of 15. So why did I do that? For those whole numbers again, that $15 mark, previous resistance, got in at the break of 15, so I got in at 15.50 actually is where I got my fill. And then when did I sell it? Well, I sold. Zoom out and see if we can see the actual sell order, got 50 or so. It's this little red line right here. So I sold it at 17, so I took a nice little profit there across only 4 shares. Nothing crazy, but again, I'm not trading with a lot of money here in this account. And some other things to note when it comes to trading with the amount of money that I have in this account, you can't really go in too big, because now what do I have here up on the top left? Stock buying power. And so my buying power is at $800, okay? So that means that tomorrow or right now I could trade up to $800. Once I trade that, that money is going to take time to settle. And so I can't trade while it's settling. And so that's why a cash account, yeah, you can make as many day trades as you want, which is good. It's kind of the purpose of this video, but you just can't go in too big. And so you kind of have to have that risk management in place. And so what am I looking at? I'm looking at going in between $30 and like $90 to $100 max, if that's like a really, a nice play. That's my max. And that's kind of what I'm looking at. So around that is generally where I am. And why is it going to fluctuate? Because each stock is going to be different. For example, CYCC, a little bit of a higher price stock, super, super low float. That's why it can move very fast, halting up and down. So it was kind of a pain to be in that. But here's another one, NBY. Put this one a bunch. We have a lot of orders going in and out. We actually took some minor losses, although we did take the break of 155. Selling it at 170, you can't really see that, but selling it at 170 and then 175, that's where I sold it. Could have got 185, didn't actually end up getting that high, didn't feel confident in it. So I took my money. I also don't like to hold into the market open. If I really am going to do that, yeah, I'll have a couple shares. I'm not going to have a large position, but I'm not going to hold into the market open. And if, for example, this guy, we're trading 25 shares, 30 shares, 20 shares, depending upon my confidence level, and each stock's going to be slightly different when it comes to the amount of shares and things like that. Next stock to talk about here is SFET, looking for the break of $2.20. Why was I looking for the break of $2.20? Well, take a look right here. Resistance level at $2.20. Hit that twice in pre-market. Yeah, we broke through, hit it twice. And generally, what's that going to lead me to believe? We may make a pushback up to around those pre-market highs. If we break through those pre-market highs, we could be off to the races. And so what did I do? I jumped in as we broke through, so 3 cents above. Usually I play 2 to 3 cents above. And what did I do? I sold it around 234, 230, I believe I sold some, and then 234, which we ended up hitting like 236. So I got out just in time. And so that was a kind of a quick, easy, nothing crazy play. I have a couple other small ones. They were super small plays, not really too much to talk about. They were very, very, very small. And that was pretty much the morning. So if anything happens throughout the rest of the afternoon, I will make an update video for that. But that was day 1 here of day trading. So again, down about $1.50. Nothing crazy, although if I cut my losses on that other one, AVOC, I believe, if I cut my losses earlier on that guy, we would be profitable for the day. Had to make a comeback, as we say, although I don't trade with my P&Ls showing. I don't like to see the P&L of the trade on the side. I don't do that, okay? And so this account, guys, again, want to reiterate, it's a small account. I'm not going in huge. All I want to do is see how I can do. Can I make more profitable trades than negative trades? Can I, right now, we had a lot of profitable trades. We had like two negative trades. One on MBY, which I recovered from on the actual overall day, and that one on AVOC. If I didn't make those two trades or I cut the AVOC short, I'd be profitable today and fairly decently. Not huge again, guys, but again, we're looking at, a 0.5% to 1% on the account. That's not too bad. If you can consistently do that across bigger accounts or across days at a time, you can grow an account pretty significantly. So we're looking here for the consistency. We're not necessarily looking for the numbers. If I make $5, make $10 in a day, that might not sound like a big deal, but again, it's all about the consistency that we're looking for here. In my other swing trade account, you guys can follow me. Those videos come out on Saturdays. You can see the bigger swings. I have more money to play with. We're looking for larger percent gains. Those are some bigger plays. Here we're looking for consistency, and as I get that consistency, I will add more to this account in the future. As I'm consistent, if I can develop that consistency, I'll keep adding, and we'll keep getting better and working on our craft here. The craft is really trading, and so hopefully that makes sense, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so here we are, guys. Now we're in the computer, and let's take a look through. I want to have full screen so you guys can see everything. So WATT, a $14 winner. That's like the main play of the day. The other ones are not going to be as significant, but I want to go over this guy, and this is a pre-market winner. So getting up early was actually what paid off here today on this play. So let's pull it up and see what happened. So right now it is trading here at $3.16. A lot of orders. Don't want to confuse you too much, but what I like to do sometimes is I like to go in with like half or a quarter position and sell on the way up, or average kind of down, or accumulate on the way down if it was going to be sitting at support or something like that. So that's what I like to do. But here's what happened. So around 7 a.m. is when the news released. They released news, and that is what catapulted the stock up. Riding this 10 EMA, this little light blue line right here. So I made my initial entries around that $2 mark. So once it broke that $2 level, because that was an area that it had to break through, and generally a natural area of resistance when it comes to penny stocks. So we broke that $2 level, and what I like to do is go in, and these actually were some averaging down. 201, 203, that's one average down. I got in at 205 initially because it ripped through $2, and I got in at 205, which was a clear break of $2. I like to do that because, like I said, you confirm that it breaks through a cent or two. Sometimes, you can get faked out, okay? And so what ended up happening was I sold on the way up. Look at this, 160. We had 160 here. We sold some. I think I had some from earlier. We had even a play even earlier than that. Yeah, we can't even see this arrow here. I was in from like 150. I was in from the 150 break, sold at 160, and then continued to play this guy up on the way up. There was many different entries on the way up, but we can see, again, $2 average down. It kind of developed a little bit of a support here. Didn't crack the VWAP, which is the white line. Cracked the VWAP, I would have been out, and I got some more here, and then again I sold some more. I then added on the 220 break. We broke through 215, 220, added some more, sold some, and then that was really the pre-market game. It was kind of on the way up, buying at breaks, buying at little support levels, and then adding on the way up. That was the game plan on the pre-market hours, and I made a good amount of money pre-market, about $10 on this stock pre-market. The other $4 of that 14 comes from the actual market hours, so this is when the market has opened. 10 shares at just under or just above 296. This is actually a 290 break, because 290, reason why we played that, because take a look, we go back through, we can see 290 was the previous pre-market high. So pre-market high break for the actual day. This is a couple minutes into market open. We played the pre-market high break. I got filled at 296 because it kind of was rocketing through, tons of volume. That tends to happen, and sold it really quickly at 313. That was my sell point, and then it went up to 380. So I missed the full move there, but again, when you're playing, when you're into uncharted territory on the day, you don't really have too much of previous resistance and supports, and so you kind of play those whole numbers, the 315s, the 310s, the $3, and so that was kind of the play there. Then again, adding in here at the break of $3, looking for potentially 325, and it's sitting here at 324 right now, and so it actually got up to 338. So I took in 15 shares. Again, I'm going in a little bit smaller now because before I was going in 10, 20 shares. I already made my money. I don't want to, give it all back, right? So that's kind of the game plan with this. So again, at 303, we went in, sold at 309 before 310, again 310. I like these little nines because, again, guys, these whole numbers are more areas of potential resistance, and 320 was a solid area that we had to break through. It happened a couple times here, couldn't break through that 320. That's why I sold 5 at 319, and I actually sold it, and then it took another minute or two for us to break through, and I sold the rest at 324, and that is pretty much the end of that play right there. So that was WATT, a solid play. Never really cracked a view up, almost did right here, but again, my time was done. It was on a downtrend, I was not playing it, and those are some solid plays here. That was the biggest play of the day. Outside of that, VXRT, TOPS, and LIFE. So TOPS, LIFE were really quick. So let me just show them really quick. So LIFE, if we can go to this guy, this is a very, very quick. It was a buy at the break of 4, and I sold it right after it hit a high of 434. I think I sold it at 424. So it was a quick little scout play because we had previously tested $4. It was a resistance and bought it on the way back up as it crossed through 4. So I bought it 406, confirming a breakthrough. Would have probably liked to get in 404, 403, but 406 will be fine. Took that. TOPS, similar type of thing here, was a pre-market buy, and I sold it during market hours. Was a buy at the break of 30 cents, so it broke 30 cents. Reason why? Okay, let's take a look. 30 cents right here was a previous area of potential resistance. We had hit it right here. Kind of struggled to get above 30 cents before, so we did that. And I sold around 31, 32, hit 33.9. I was looking for 35, didn't get it, so then I took the rest off. I had 100 shares there. Again, not a huge position, but I took them off in bits of 25 shares or 50 shares at a time. And so that was the play there. And TOPS made about $1 or so on that with a $30 trade. So again, it's a significant percentage gain. So if you're playing with more money, and again, like I've been saying, the more money you add to the account, if you can prove you're consistent, if you can prove these gains, that's pretty significant, on the day. I think it's, for the amount of money you're using, I think it's pretty good. VXRT, this guy, I made it back. I kind of revenged the loss here. The reason why I say I revenged the loss is because take a look at what happened here pre-market hours. So it ran up, it hit up like 335, and then it came back down. I got in at the 325 break, and I was looking for 340. Didn't get my 340 or 339, as I like to play those weird numbers, right? And so I got in like right here on the spike of 325, looking for that 325 break. It got 335, then it came down, so I sold. I was like, okay, we're on a downtrend. Kind of broke out of this downtrend, made a move back up. I ended up, getting back in and then selling. Didn't like how it was looking, so I kind of made some mistakes there. Of course, it came back up to about 320. Couldn't break that 320. But then we did break that 320, and so I did the 325 break yet again, kind of got faked out here. It filled me at 326 because one share went through at 327. I had a stop limit order, which means I'm not going to get filled until it hits 327, and I'm going to get filled as a limit order, okay? And so it actually hit 327 for one share. One share went through, and so it filled me at 326 upon falling back down, which is not really, it's kind of like a fake out in a sense. But then I held strong. It didn't break through VWAP, didn't break through this 50S EMA, this red line right here, so I felt comfortable. Then I played it, then it kept running back up, and I sold it at 339 for my profit right there. So I kind of revenged the loss, although I still was red on the day because I took a larger loss on VXRT earlier. Now, what should I have done? Well, what I should have done here on VXRT was sold it earlier, okay? I should have sold it earlier. I sold it at 290, okay? I should not have let it ride down to 290. I should have sold it here around that $3 point. If I sold it at $3, if it fell below $3, it still would have been a pretty significant loss, but that should have been where I cut that guy. Would have saved me some money here, would have actually netted me a little bit more profit on the day, maybe closer to $15 if I were to do something like that. But again, you learn from these mistakes, and you kind of hopefully, you can learn from these things and get better the next day. I've had it yesterday, I had a bigger loss, right? This way it wasn't as bad, but again, it was still not perfect. So I'm looking to, hopefully see what we can do tomorrow, but that was today. So again, up $8.52. We can see here by the net liquidity, $8.52 on the week so far. It is Tuesday. If I make any more trades this afternoon, probably won't. Sticking to my swing trading account, which we can take a brief check-in on the swing trading account right here. We're at 4,230. So looking down hard today because of some positions that I was in, but we're looking to see how that plays out the rest of the day and the rest of the week. That's not really what I'm talking about in this video, but that's something that I'm also going to be managing throughout the rest of the day. Not really making some active day trades, but swing trading in that account and managing and jumping into positions and averaging in, averaging down. So that's it for today, Tuesday, April 21st in the books. Looking forward to getting after it again early tomorrow morning. And just like that is now day 3 here. It is Wednesday, April 22nd. of this week-long trading challenge, okay? And so today did not go as good as planned. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the computer and we're going to discuss what went down today. Took a $15 loss so far on the day. Again, not a huge loss. Again, also, for the account, it's about a 1% loss on the account. So not huge, but also not ideal. Made a couple mistakes, and I want to share those so you guys can learn from those mistakes and things that I will not be doing again. Be writing those things down to my trading journal. Have already documented these trades on a actual Excel spreadsheet to say, here's what I traded, why this happened, this is what I did. And we're going to go through the mistakes so you guys don't make those mistakes, and these things I will not be doing again after learning what I have learned from today. All right, so here we are inside the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim account now, and we have $9 and almost $10 loss on ATIF. Biggest issue of my day here was actually not having a terrible day until that play. We have $5 on PEC. I'll explain that mistake. Not mistake, but I'll explain that one right there. ENSV lost, but not really a terrible one. SAEX played this one a lot. Still ended up with a $2 net loss, and that could have actually done better if I caught that earlier. And USO actually played a little bit of that for about $2 gain. Let's jump through ATIF. So here's ATIF. It actually had some news this morning, and it made a jump up. It was actually trading yesterday around 165, 170. So this is actually a massive, massive play, especially if you were holding it overnight or swing trading, but I was not. And so we got in at the $4 break. Now this did occur close to market hours. And so why do I say that? Well, because I've heard this before from many traders. They don't tend to trade within 5 minutes of the market opening and 5 minutes into the market opening, or a couple minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is. And I kind of have, understood that, and I get why, because you can get some volatile price action, and I understand. However, here's what happened. This trade, right, or this stock was moving up so nice, riding that 10 EMA we talk about here. It broke $4 and got rejected at 405. Now, I guess looking back on the weekly, there was a SMA there, or I think the 200 SMA on the weekly chart was actually right there. And so I at $4, but 405, that was the area of $4 generally area of resistance. But I thought if we could break through $4, that would look really good. And what happened was it didn't actually happen. So we ended up not really doing too much after that. And then once the market opened, everyone sold. So people who had swing trades, who were bag holding, whatever, they sold off, and it dropped significantly. And I took my losses at $3.06, which is actually a pretty big hit. So zooming out, yeah, I could have gotten a better fill in terms of my exit, but at the end of the day, this thing is just kind of sewering on down. So what do I learn from this one, and what am I not going to be doing in the future is trading something within about that 5-minute period to market open. And if I did do this correctly, or if I was to go back and do this again, what would I have done? I would have taken my loss right here. Would have taken my loss around 380 or 375 or 355, if even that. Just taken my loss right there and called it a day, and waited for this to happen, right? Waited for it to re-break $4 after the market opens. That's what I would have done now if I was to go back and do it again. The biggest play, though, of the day was SAEX. Put this one a lot. Now, the reason why I say this a lot, I actually used to swing trade this one a while ago. If you guys go back and find that video, it's probably pretty far back. I swing traded this one, and guess what? With the oil news, this is getting some action. This play right here, and so what happened was it had some more push come 7 a.m. Why 7 a.m.? Well, it actually had news yesterday after hours, but 7 a.m. is when most brokerage platforms open up. So 7 a.m. It kind of got some action. And guys, don't mind all these little 5s and 10s. This is just because I was averaging down, grabbing some more shares on mini breakouts and things like that. So I was playing this one a ton, but there were some main trades here. What I didn't get when I played SAEX was like the first initial breaks. So what the first initial breakouts that I was looking for, and people on the trading team that I'm part of, again, link down below for that if you want access to that. It's something that I pay for. There's alerts, there's all different things you can get through there, some great information. Well, this is 225 break, didn't get on that 250 break. That's where I think I got in on the $3 break. So my first play was a $3 break. So I had, from 225 all the way up, there was potential, to catch some of those gains. I didn't get in till a little bit later, and so I played that one, made some money on the first one. Then I played like the 325 or so, looking for 350, or looking for the 350 break. There were some other little plays I got in and then ended up having to sell for a slight loss, or I tried to average down, didn't actually do so, ended up taking my losses on that as it dropped down below. Then it started to develop a nice uptrend, so I started grabbing some shares little by little on this uptrend, made some nice progress as it made its way back up to 320. And sold 324 and 318, sold for a profit on that trade. So it took some wins in the beginning, took some losses as we kind of hit 350 and dropped back down, Then what I ended up doing was averaging down, averaging back in as we were holding this uptrend. We're holding a nice little uptrend right here, and so I grab, and I knew as we broke this VWAP, which is this white line, volume weighted average price, then I would have seen, you know, a move back to the upside, and that's where I did, and I sold some there. And again, we open the day up, and I see you don't really know. You can go either way, but when the market opened on this play, it dropped down quick to 291 from being at 325, and then it shot to 350. So it's kind of crazy. I bought some at 331 at 325 break and sold some right away at 335, 350, and then again played it again. It was a, let's see, where I had 5 shares. I forgot about that. That's actually a mistake on my part. Then again, 260 break, which were previous area of resistance, and then 275, sold it there. 274, I like to sell it 1 cent below. And then since then, holding this little uptrend and then broke this uptrend, so I'm not going to be looking for it again until maybe it breaks above VWAP. So we will see to see what happens on the rest of the day there, but I'm probably not going to be trading this one again. What I'm going to do, guys, for you actually is play a live trade. So the 220 or the 725 break here on PEC. I'm going to play this one live. I'm going to go 5 shares in here. So let's go with the 725 break. Let's go with. So I'm going to go here as a 725 break. We are breaking there. We're going to be getting in. Boom, we are in at 727, looking for 750. Let's see where we're going to look for an area. 750, look at 775 potentially, as we are alerted here in the group I'm in. Let's see. What I'm going to do here is I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to take my profit here at 748. Let's see if we can get it, 748. And just like that, simple, quick trade. So we broke VWAP. What's the idea here? We broke VWAP and looking for those areas, those 25, those 50 cents. This can be very, very quick on a play like this. PEC just came into this play. I just saw this. I went in small shares. So again, now what are we on the day? Yeah, we were down 16. Now we're down just under 15. So it could have been worse. But again, that's just kind of playing this game and getting little, learning, here and there. That's all it is. Nothing crazy. But look, a quick play. 5 shares at 727, 725 breaking that quarter resistance we just broke above VWAP, okay? And then once you're kind of in no man's land, of course, you can look to previous areas of support and resistance on the day, not too much at that 725, 750 area, but the reason why is because it's a psychological barrier. When it breaks that 725, look, now we're coming back down. It hit 750. Let's see, I think it hit 750. It just hit that, and so I'm going to take my profit right there. And if it breaks 750, well, where do I think it's going to go next? Well, I think there's a good shot it goes to $7.75 or even $8. So that's kind of the next play. I'm probably not going to play it because I just made a quick little scalp there. Again, it's not a huge percentage gain, but it's also not too bad. So if you were someone who played this play, right, and you were to look for that quick little break, this happened super, super fast. I've been watching it, and I kind of a little cut out on the last one, jumped right into this one, and so hopefully you guys can actually understand why that happened. But that was an awesome little live trading right there for you. So 728 to about 748. Let's see what the percentage about. Let's see, approximately, it's a little over 2%, so it's not a huge game, but again, if you can stack 2% wins, it's a pretty decent play, I think. And so that was the play right there that I just did live for you guys right in front. And then I'm probably gonna let that one go. I'm not gonna play the 750. If it comes back up, we'll see what happens. We'll revisit that. But what did I do for PEC here? What happened was we were playing this. It did not get 650. I wanted 650. I got in at the $6 break, looking for 650. It got to 645. It got to 645. You got to be kidding me. Of course, that's what happens. And then it started downtrending, so I cut my losses here at 540. A little bit too far. I probably could have cut that a little bit earlier, but I cut my losses there at 540. Then what happened? It kind of held up, 525. And then once the market opened, I was watching this. This is when I saw ATIF though. ATIF caught my attention a little bit too early. And so I was watching to see if PEC would break this white line, this VWAP, the volume weighted average price. It did. And then I was like, okay, if it breaks VWAP, I want to see it break $6. It did, but I was in ATIF at the time. And then what ended up happening with PEC is it once the market opened, it continued that momentum and shot to $9.30. So a double top right there, generally a bearish indicator. When you have two tops at 9.30 or two tops at a certain price, it couldn't break through it. That's the resistance, so it dropped right back down. And then we're playing it back again. It's coming back up. We'll see if it can hold above VWAP. It kind of just tested above. We'll see if the shorts can bring it back down. But that was kind of the play there on PEC. Of course, now you don't know how it's going to react, so I don't know if it could have just as easily gone the other way, down. So that's why I don't really, as much as that would have been an amazing play, if I had just held, yeah, I would have made money, wouldn't have lost money on PEC. But again, you don't know. So once the market opens, I'm not going to be playing stocks. I'm not going to be holding stocks from pre-market into market hours. Just not going to be doing that in the future. So After this, we had ENSV, I believe. That was the next play. Super, weird. I wouldn't play this one again. It was just because it was a very 18 cents. So it's like a micro penny stock. Bought at 18.5, sold 100 shares at 18.7, and then sold the rest a little bit for a loss. So overall, took a slight loss there. Did not like the volume. Once we kind of got going, the volume died out significantly. So I just cut my shares there. Nothing crazy to talk about though. USO, we've got a lot of oil going on. Oil's in the news. Super low prices. Oil is down so much. Let this guy load up here really quick. But again, broke that 275. Why 275 here, guys, on oil? Well, let's take a look. 275. We can see this little line going across. We have multiple areas of resistance. So we see in the past, this is 275, 275, 275. That's why 275 was a key number. Also, that quarter break, a quarter, psychological number. Again, 275, why 290? Well, going back up, we hit an area of resistance here at 290, and so I didn't want to go to $3, so I took mine at 289. We actually just popped to 293 before coming down, 294 before coming down pretty hard. So I took my profit there again, $2, 15 shares, nothing crazy. But again, preserving capital so I can trade again on Thursday and Friday. Now I should have no problem because my buying power is sitting here at $477 still, so I'm fine. I can do that today, and then tomorrow I'll have cash settling from the past couple of days. That will settle, and I should be able to trade with that money as well. So on the day, that was the day we got to see some live trading right there. We had those are the stocks that I traded. Peck now, a $4 loss in the day was a little bit worse, but that was kind of the situation. Let's take a look. Let's check back in on Peck and see what it is doing. Yeah, so it's kind of hovering right there. We'll see if it breaks that 750. I'm probably not going to be playing it again, but that 750 is the next. Actually, look, here we are. Let's see. I'll play 5 shares for fun here. So if we can break 750, I will be looking to play it until 775. That'll be the next play on Peck. So let's see. I'll do a 753. Just so that we make sure we break that 750. If this happens in the next couple seconds here, that'll be great. If it does not, if it drops down below, I will be calling it for the day. This will be the last play right here. Again, 5 shares across $7 stock. It's not a super massive position size, but at the same time, it's because the repetition. It's going to be getting understanding how this works, playing these stocks, and then as you do this, the more you do it, the better you're going to just simply get at it. So yes, you could be taking losses, you can be making some big profits, and really I could add money to this account, but I'm not going to do so until I can consistently get profitable, or at least know how this stuff works to a better degree. And I'm getting better. I'm establishing more rules. I'm establishing more things. So if I can avoid those things, like next week, for example, like playing stocks before the market opens, right before 5 minutes before the market opens, if I can avoid doing something like that next week, and I can avoid a big loss, right, it leaves more room for the wins. And I've had significant wins, in terms of on a percentage basis, especially because I'm part of a group that we do trade live every single day. You have people who are kind of there, helping you through, like, here's a resistance area. Here's a key area to watch on this stock. This stock has a lot of volume today, but watch this level. If it breaks 5, that's a really good sign. So those are some great things you have in groups that you can be a part of when it comes to trading. And so having that, plus, seeing how things work and starting to understand things a little bit better, you can, and having better rules in place, you can really start to see, how this works. And so I'm going to call it right here, guys, with Peck. I'm not going to be playing this one right now. It's not really making some significant progress. Looks like we have a double top here at that 725 again, so it's going to be an area of resistance. It's not going to break through. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to be taking my day right there at a final total here of 1487 in the red, which is not great, but again, it's $3. We're down about six or so dollars on the week overall, so far so red. But we'll see if we can change that into Thursday and Friday. And Friday is generally the slowest trading day of the week, so we will see how Friday goes. But looking forward to come back here on Thursday and pick things right back up. All right, and welcome back, guys. So here we are now. It is Thursday, the 23rd of April. We are taking a look at this one. It was one of the plays that I actually played twice today, WLL. And I think I took 2 losses here today on this play. Today actually did not go too well. We're going to go look at the monitor. What we can probably see, if you guys are paying attention, here's the account value, $1,400 or $1,475 and 16 cents. So, okay, so down about $24, almost $25 here on the week. Today was probably the biggest loss. So we are down 18 here on the day right now. Not an ideal day. And so it didn't go well. All of our trades here were red. every single one, all red. One of these was like $6 green at one point, and then I finished it red, and I'll explain that really, why that happened. So why were they all red? Here's the thing about this is that this could have been a much worse day. Today, to be honest, all these $6 or less in total losses, that's not that bad, okay? Considering, that, you could probably make, on a perfect trade, I could probably make a solid $10 to $15 if it was the perfect trade with the size I'm going in. It was the perfect trade and I handled it absolutely perfectly, my entries, my exits. So that's considering, all considered, I'm cutting my losses a little bit shorter. We're not having those $10 losses anymore like we were having a couple of days ago. But still, today was not the best of days. So why did this happen? Well, WLL, these are some oil plays, okay? And so we had lots going on with oil right now. You've probably heard it in the news and whatnot. Break of $2 we played just before. It got to $2.10. I was looking for $2.14. Didn't get there. Could have sold $2.09. Didn't, the risk reward there, what's the risk reward? I was risking, 10, 15 cents on the downside, so I was at least looking to get 15 cents on the upside, so I didn't want to just take profit at $2.09. I was looking for a little bit more than that, and so ended up taking a loss for about 14 cents, just under 14 cents on that actual play. Right here, took a very small loss. Just didn't like at the time how the volume was coming in. There was very low volume at the time. I jumped in at the 125 break and then sold at 124 because I didn't like the volume, didn't like how things were trending the rest of that period. So the next one right here, let's see, it's CPAH. This guy was the biggest play of the day. So there's a ton. Don't get concerned here. There's a lot of stuff going on. I just leave these in to be transparent and show you guys how it kind of goes. So I had some initial trades that actually went well. On the initial run-up, had some good trades. We came down, dipped. I think I lost some money on this dip. And then I re-entered as we made some more breakouts to the upside. I re-entered and made some more trades on the upside. And I was actually up about $6 on this play. But then what happened? Playing some dip buys, looking for that first dip buy around like 375. And then after that didn't hold, okay, where's the next area that we can look to dip by? Was looking right around this 200 EMA, this green line right here. And sorry if you guys can't see it too well. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let me get rid of this active trader tab because we don't need to do that. We are not trading anymore. Yeah, and then it didn't really hold this green line. So what do I do after that? Well, I go to the 5-minute chart and I'll look again and I'll look for the red line. So I'll look for the 50 EMA on the 5-minute. And it was actually coming up to it, and it was holding. And then eventually I had 25 shares. I had put a stop loss at 317 or 315 or something like that. And it just hit it. And, right now it's down under $3. So it is done probably for the day. But, it's 12:36. It could come back in the afternoon if it bounces off the 200 EMA here on the 5-day, 5-minute. I doubt it. I mean, maybe if it comes back, it'll make a couple bucks. You can make a couple bucks on the scalps, but nothing crazy. So that was a good trade until I kind of just looked for an averaging down dip buy type of play for it to make a reversal, and it never did. And the thing is, I will note, it's the past couple days, this is actually very interesting. Now, I know this video is long, but hopefully it's very, very informative if you want to come back and forth to see, each part. I know it's a lot, but the past couple days have been very, very weird. We have not had, like in the past couple weeks, I've been dabbling in this. I had this account, I started with like 500 bucks, then I've been adding a little bit of money. Yeah, okay, we go to the actual mantra, what's my year-to-date profit and loss? Okay, down 52 on the year. So really, I'm down 25 right now today. So I lost 25 prior to this in the past 2-3 weeks messing around. I'm not risking, I'm not losing that much money. I'm just kind of seeing how things go, messing around, kind of trying to perfect things and get better at it, learn, right? That's the whole key. In the past couple weeks, what I was able to do was I was able to have consistent like $5 to $10 days. And so recently I have not. The reason why I was having those consistent $5, $10 days is because I was finding that it was fairly easy to pick winners, okay? It was fairly easy to pick more winners than losers. Here, the past couple days, I probably would say today, almost every single play was a loser. Well, not every play, but many plays were losers. There was more losers that I played today than winners. And so when you're playing with a situation, or when you're playing with yourself, when you're trying to manage your risk and understand, okay, when do I cut my losses early, which I did on some of these plays, I did cut these early, right? I cut them for a couple cent loss. That's not going to do anything bad. That's not too bad. But it's then letting those winners ride. So when you're kind of struggling with that, it really makes it kind of difficult, especially then when you have days that are kind of dry. And why was today dry? Was because CPAH was our biggest play. And the news here, I believe, let's take a look. The news here, they do have COVID-19 here in the news, okay? because they just mentioned it, okay? But they had expect revenue growth. So it's revenue growth news. Nothing crazy though. It was no, crazy, breakthrough or, nothing like that. So, we in the past couple weeks we were having, news about, looking for test kits or test kits, sales of test kits, this different vaccine, looking for partners for vaccines, candidates. Those are the types of news pieces that we were doing really well with, that we were seeing a lot of. And lately we just have not been seeing that. So that's what's kind of been going on here this past week. And so what else did I trade this today? We have ENZ. That one was just kind of a rat. I don't even really, QEP, OAS. I'll just talk about one of them because they were pretty much the same. So what were these? These are all pre-market that I'm talking about. This trade we can see during actual market hours. QEP, though, we played this guy. And again, this is nothing. And now it's, of course, running back up to, now it is, right? But of course, when you're playing this pre-market, you're looking for a play right there. You're not looking to hold through these dips. You're really not. So I got in at the 62-cent break or so, looking for it to get back up and test those highs, push 70 cents, and it didn't do it. It just came right back down. So, again, another situation here where I just cut my losses. I didn't take a massive loss. I sold around 60 cents. So I was in at 63. So I didn't take a huge loss there. But, again, when you have a bunch of losses, right, they start to add up, right? We can see they start to add up. And so, again, not a huge loss in all these plays, but they added up here today, and that's kind of what we're dealing with. So ENZ was the other one that I want to talk about here. It was actually a swing trade. I actually had this a long time ago, I know a couple weeks ago, not even, and then ended up selling it because they put out some news that was just not good. The news was, I believe, along the lines of saying, yep, I want to say this is like a company based in New York City area, and they put out some news saying that they're looking to have revenue decline, profits decline because of the outbreak of the virus and whatnot. When then today, of course, they put out additional news that was they launched proprietary diagnostic tests for COVID-19. So that was crazy news, right? If you had, we would look at this stock, it was at $2 and, it's up to $3.75, so almost 100%. I had the stock around $2 or $2.50, $2.30, something like that, and sold it around $2.17, I want to say, because they put out some news, and I didn't want to deal with earnings and whatnot, and it just didn't sound good. So I got rid of that. Could have actually averaged down, anticipating some news like this, which is what we were anticipating, news like this, but it just didn't come till now. So what are you going to do? But, this is the play here, and the idea was to play a couple breakouts. This is the first one. Only one of my shares filled. I was looking to actually get in, I think, 10 or 15 shares, and one of my shares filled, and so then I sold it for a slight profit there, of course. What are you going to do? It ran up to about didn't hit $3, but ran up about $2.94 pre-market after hitting highs earlier, about $3.75, and then I played it again for the $3 break here, and of course it gets to $3.12. I was looking for $3.15, so I didn't get that $3.15. It got to $3.12, came right back down, and that was kind of the end of that story right there, and it is just kind of sewering down for now, doing its thing. It may make a bounce here, and what I mean by a bounce, potentially off this 200 EMA. Actually, let's take a look at the 1 day, 1 minute. And just see how it looks in the 1 day, 1 minute. I don't think it looks too good. Yeah, it bounced down below the 200 EMA, and it's kind of just going down. Yeah, I think it's probably done for the day. Maybe this afternoon it comes back up. But that was the story here on these trades. I really, what are you going to do? It's one of those days where it's like, what are you going to do? And again, glad that this is not too much money, because if it was, if I had a larger account, this would probably hurt a little bit more. It would sting a little bit more. But, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm making this video. This is why I'm going through this right now and sharing it all. It's because before I get into growing the account or putting more money in, let's see what I can do. Let's see if I can learn from these mistakes and improve. And so, okay, maybe this week I have a ton of things to write down, a ton of things to know, a ton of things to improve on. And next week we kind of, we make some breakthroughs. We have a profitable week. We have some more things. And so going into tomorrow, I'm really not looking forward to tomorrow's trading because, well, I am and I am not. Because the reason why I'm not looking forward to it is because it's Friday. And generally over the past couple weeks, or just in general, Fridays are really lighter volume days. So you're going to have less traders because they're anticipating the weekend and whatnot. There's just less traders on Friday, less volume. So of course, unless we get some really good news on some stocks, potentially like ENZ, it's not this type of stock, but on stocks like that, unless we get some good news related to COVID-19 or some other good news on some of these stocks, I'm not going to be looking like tomorrow morning when we come, when I sit down, all of a sudden I see some oil stocks, like for example, WLL. If I see some oil stocks or whatever, related stocks, running up, I'm not going to be too excited. I might play them super, super small shares, but I'm not going to be too excited because I've seen it again. It's going to be the same type of deal again and again. You need to have a solid runner, either a strong runner from previous days or you got to have some solid news, and that'll catapult the stock into what it does through the rest of the day. So hopefully that makes sense. Hope you guys can kind of see inside what's going on here. And, of course, it's unfortunate that I couldn't have done this last week or the week before, because I had made money, or I had more winning trades than losing trades. Yeah, I had some bigger losses that were kind of like weighing me down, but I was making, $5, $10 per day pretty consistently, and I can show you guys, I was able to show you guys like why this happened, why this didn't happen. At least you guys see the downside. So when it comes to trading, it's not going to always be perfect. And also to note, if you're in some of these like Discord groups that they have down here, I'm part of one too, they're not going to be perfect. And the people in the Discord groups, they may be like crazy, great traders that are profitable every single day. The thing is, when you're following their alerts and when you're following these different things, sometimes they don't make all the trades that they alert. Sometimes they're holding, more shares, they're averaging down, which with a smaller account, you can't really do. And so that's why those things, not that they're bad, not that these groups are bad, because it's actually been very beneficial to me to be inside the group and to learn from them. But you kind of got to get the hang of it. You got to just be in, get yourself in the mud, get down, get into, create an account, get going, and try things out. Because at the end of the day, it's really just going to be up to you figuring out what works best for you. Maybe you can base yourself off alerts and this, that, and the other thing in the Discord groups, and they're awesome. And I have a link down below to the one that I'm a part of because I love it. But it's not like that is going to be what you're going to do. You're going to follow those alerts and you're going to be profitable and you're going to make a ton of money. No. You're going to have to use those alerts as a guide, figure out what works for you, see what's working generally, why, and really look into why people are making money in those groups. Why are they making money? Had this person make the same trades as me, right, but made money and I lost money? Well, maybe they had more, right? They knew when to let a winner ride. They knew when to not sell all their shares when a stock was running up. Like, for example, CPAH, right? CPAH today, this stock had made some massive moves. And so if I had bought in my shares right here, but let's say I bought 20 shares and I maybe had sold 10 and maybe I had got back in, averaged in down here a little more and grabbed some more shares, and I had, had at least 5 or 10 shares that I had held the whole way up. And, in between selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, taking my profits here and scalping kind of, but I then sold, around $4, that would have been a massive gain on those shares. Now, of course, on shares for a small account, not going to be huge, but that's why those people are profitable. And so you got to kind of just see. And the longer you're in the game, the more you're going to see that. So hopefully you guys can get some value out of this. At least spending my time, at least trying to learn this and see how this works. Because of course, like I said, I am pretty into the swing trade side of things, and so that's something that I've been doing pretty well at the past couple of months, and I've been documenting that here on the channel. But now looking to see if we can get into day trading. So looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Hopefully it wasn't too long, and we'll get into tomorrow, and then we'll wrap things up here with the Friday trading. All right, so we are back here inside the computer and taking a look back up to the top. The account is sitting at $1,468.09. So what does that put me at on the week? Well, since I started the week at $1,500, we're looking at just over a $30 loss, about $31.91 loss on the week. Honestly, not terrible. So what happened today? We took losses here, 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 and we took a win here at MDGS. So played MDGS was actually, which I have up here on the charts right now. Played this one actually pretty well, and I would say again, we took it up on the way up. Okay, we broke through some key areas. $3 was a pretty key area, and then what ended up happening was we kept running, and $3 broke, but we didn't get to 315. I was looking for 315, 325, and actually looking at some previous areas of resistance, we're looking at 350. We got pretty close actually out during market hours, so that makes sense, and I actually made some money here as we made our way back up during market hours, but took that last entry at the break of $3 and lost money, had to sell it for a loss on the way down as it dropped back to just below 235 or so. Made its way back up, didn't really play it too much, played like a little bit of a quick little break of a downtrend line right there, so that was one of the plays I made there. Then kind of dropped down and waited until market opened, and we made some progress back towards the upside. So outside of MDGS, what else we played today? We played TOPS. In this one I've played before, swing trading and whatnot. Really not a fan of it. I'm going to get rid of the active trader tab here. We don't need to be trading anymore. it had some news. We broke at 3.30 cents, and the idea was to go to 32 cents. Didn't actually end up getting up to 32 cents, and so that was the mistake. Not a mistake there, but I was looking for 32 cents. That was a previous area of resistance. Didn't make it quite that high. Dropped down, so I sold my shares for a loss before the market opened. Didn't want to go back through dealing with the market opening and potentially dropping harder, and it did drop, but it's been kind of just holding its own there. OAS, another oil play. Played it yesterday, played it again today, pre-market, and we've actually been taking some major hits here. But the play here was the break of that $1, and so it did it, but it wicked up super, super fast. I was looking to actually get out at $1.10. I wasn't playing too many shares here, very, very small. I actually jumped in with 5 shares right when I woke up before 7 a.m. Just to see if it would make a run, and it did. The problem was I've added more shares here as it broke up, and then I ended up having to sell for a loss as it was making its way on down and didn't want to hold into open, which I could have got a mercy exit around 95 cents, but didn't really do that. Didn't want to risk it going into the open yet again. And the last play was MESO. This play was actually a positive play until I made a mistake of playing it yet again during the market hours. So what we have here, we have some arrows, we have some things. We kind of had a bull channel, if that makes sense. If you guys can kind of see, we were kind of fluctuating here in this bull channel, as you can kind of call it, and we broke out of the bull channel. So I took some exits here with these red arrows, these exits right here as we're at the top of the bull channel, which makes sense. Still held some shares, didn't actually capitalize in the top end as we fell back through. I sold the rest there because the market was then going to open. And so the market opened, and again, here's a situation where you don't want to play the risk of, is it going to just die back down? People are going to take profits, or is it going to get ripped up? And it got ripped up. It actually got halted, and then it hit that $20 mark. That was probably like the $20 was like my last kind of area of key resistance, and it broke there. It didn't really break through. It kind of just wicked up, kind of like a fake out, and then dropped back down to about 15. It's trading at $15 right now. Play was to play the break of 17, sell at 17.50. It didn't actually happen. So what did I do? I played the 14.50 dip buy because that was an area of support in the past. 14.50 was a previous area of resistance, and then it became support. Played that, made its way back up. Actually could have made more. It actually came back up about 17 or so. Could have played that high. Didn't play it. Took it to like 15, a quick little scalp. Overall, though, ended up losing money on the trade because I took that trade. I had some mistakes early on in this bull channel. Before I realized what was going on, I was jumping in at 14, and then it would fall. Jumping in at 14, it would fall. If I had just grabbed those dips, I would have made myself, made out much better on that play. Something to learn from for next time. Something to jot down. Have done that in both of the journals. So, overall thoughts on the week. What happened? So generally, right, we lost about $31 in the week, which isn't too bad to be honest. And this is this week. Like I mentioned yesterday, was really just different than past weeks that I've been seeing. In past weeks, what I would say, MDGS this is the play that I, did well on today. Could have done better if I cut my losses earlier. These were the types of plays that I've been seeing in past weeks, and it's interesting how this came on a Friday, which usually is a slower day. And so this is the problem, is that I just, really was tough to find these plays, and this didn't really come till today. Yesterday was a very, very weird day. The days before I had those mistakes that I was talking about, and so I kind of made it, again, the biggest issue I had here was just cutting losses. When do you cut losses? And it's just like, okay, well, this is a support level. Well, maybe if it falls further, this is a support level. It's just difficult, I think, to find those areas and to just determine where you should cut your final losses. That's what I think is the hardest thing. If I'm able to do that, this is a profitable week for sure, and letting the winners run, something that I did a little bit better here at MDGS, I let it kind of run as it was holding this 10 EMA earlier in the pre-market. I let this run, getting 10 shares at 235, right? Selling here at 280, it was my first time I sold 280 or so. I wouldn't usually do that. I would sell at 250. I'd cut myself short, but guess what? We're holding this 10 EMA, so I'm letting it ride, and I sold the rest of the shares as we came up to $3, and then I got in at that $3 break, and of course that failed me, but that was the idea behind MDGS, and it worked out really well early on. Of course, I made some money, lost some money, made it back, so it was kind of ups and downs, but I'm getting the hang of that. I'm improving on that, and then it's going to be, cutting those losses short. So going to be doing this more in the future for sure. This is a long video, but hopefully it was a really comprehensive, it really showed you guys some in-depth things. I wish I could do more. I was going to do more, intraday, like active trading. The problem is that it makes my computer, everything's kind of, the fan's running. It's kind of crazy when if I do that. Have some little I had that one little thing that I showed you guys a couple days ago, a quick little day trade that I made, a quick little scalp play. But I'm looking to do more of this in the future. So again, I'm gonna keep doing this. It's of course the account is sitting here just under 1,500 bucks. And what I would say is, as you get better, right, you can, or as you even lose, continue to add to your account little by little. 30 bucks for the week for me is not a big deal. I don't really care. It's a minuscule loss. The money in this account is not a big deal. What I really care more about is my swing trade account. That account's pushing $5,000 right now, starting from when I put in 200, 300 bucks a couple months ago. So that account's doing very, very well. But this is something that I'm going to be working on as well as that swing trade account. So what do I do now after this? Well, what I'll do is I'll look to swing trades. I'll look to see if I can find some more swing trades, potentially averaging down or adding to positions on my swing trades after this. And so right now, the best times to do that, I think, are between that 12 and 2 o'clock. It's when things are the most quiet. It's when a lot of algos, if you've heard of algo trading, those types of things, that's when those traders or those algo bots, whatever you want to call them, will trade stocks down to potentially hit stop losses, test where stop losses are, and then people can get in at a lower price, market makers and things like that. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. I know it wasn't the best thing. Of course, I'm not a professional by no means. I really honed. I'm getting better at swing trading. Looking to get better at day trading these penny stocks here. And this week was a weird week, so we'll see if we can do this again. If this video does well, I will definitely do this again, and hopefully helped you guys out. Again, links down below to Robinhood and Webull. I recommend Webull if you're going to be someone who wants to start for free. TD Ameritrade is good. This is what I'm using. Webull for swing trades. I like Webull as well. If you want to get 2 free stocks, jump down, sign up, and deposit $100 and get your second free stock valued between $1,200 and $1,400. Great sign-up bonus. Robinhood free stock just for signing up. I use those platforms. Hopefully you guys will see the value in those. TD Ameritrade I think is good, although I do see a lot more value in E-Trade, E-Trade Pro, although you just have to pay for that. So the reason why TD Ameritrade is free, it's not going to be the best platform, but it's going to get the job done, at least if you're someone in that learning stage. Again, I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Hopefully this video was valuable to you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.